So, in the mid-1970s, when I was a small child, my best friend Noah had the legendary Mego Star Trek Enterprise Bridge playset. And I never forgot playing with that playset because it was wonderful. Very recently, I went into the Mego Mania forum on Facebook, and I just innocently posed a question. I said, is there any reason I should refrain from buying the reissue of the Enterprise Bridge playset? Anything I'd want to be aware of that would stop me from buying the reproduction rather than the original? Next thing I know, a member of that group contacted me, very nice guy, and he offered to sell me his. And next thing I know, I'm buying it from him. I've not yet taken it out of the box. It's exciting that he shipped it to me in a box that apparently contained 12-inch figure set Green Beret machine gun outpost. So even though that's not what's in the box that he used for shipping, like, there's still a tremendous amount of toy collector excitement here. And now I'm gonna open this thing up for the first time. I'm nervous about doing that because the last time I opened up a collector toy to do a photo shoot in my backyard, the vibe was off, and I wound up accidentally breaking my Yongari Monster from the Deep action figure, which I had ordered from Titanic Creations. So I'm just hoping the vibe will not be off today. As I've previously said, toy photography is serious business. Okay. This is exciting. My goodness, look at this. It's in the original package. Can you believe this? 1975 vintage. I would have to look at Wikipedia to remind myself how long this playset was in production, but I believe it was introduced in 1975. That's amazing just to have the original package on a toy from 1975. This is super exciting for me. I mean, just look at the packaging. Toys in the 1970s had a tremendous quality of magic about them. As a child, I didn't have any feeling that I was being subjected to some kind of, like, marketing machine, the way modern toys sort of make you feel. It's like there's just something so simple and innocent about all of this, and it's beautiful. One thing I distinctly remember about playing with my friend Noah's Enterprise Bridge playset was that because the thing is basically made out of vinyl and cardboard, the heavy vinyl content caused it to have that new car smell. It was just this wonderful, wonderful fragrance of brand new vinyl. And this one does not smell like that so far. Believe me, I was just sniffing it while the camera was paused. It's too much to hope that something from 1975 would still have that new car smell. And, you know, if I wanted that, maybe I should have purchased an unopened brand new reproduction. But, you know, this is still gorgeous, and I'm still excited. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Enterprise Bridge playset, part of the deal is that the playset itself is its own carrying case. This is very similar to something you would have seen, like, with the Barbie passenger jet. I forget what that toy is called, but there was this wonderful Barbie playset that my friend Marinka had when I was a child, and it was basically like a jumbo jet, and your Barbies could be passengers and flight crew, and the thing folded up and became its own carrying case. A lot of the wonderful legendary toys from this era had that quality about them. So let's just open it up and see what's inside. I cannot express to you how excited I am about this. So when you see photographs of this playset, usually the captain's chair and whatever that console is behind the captain's chair. They're always positioned so that they're facing the camera, despite the fact that this is supposed to be the bridge's view screen, and really all the crew members should be facing the view screen because it's like you're looking out the front window of the Enterprise. And here we have these cardboard cutouts that can be attached to the view screen that represent scenes from Star Trek that, you know, might come up on the view screen at some point. So here I've got the view screen, one of those view screen cutouts in place, and I've positioned the captain's chair more appropriately so it's actually facing the view screen. Now, of course, this playset looks pretty empty without a crew. I considered ordering vintage Mego Star Trek action figures to man the bridge. Forgive me for the gendered language. But the thing is, when you order vintage Megos on eBay, it's like you're dealing with a lot of stuff that is in possibly good or possibly bad condition. And while I would have preferred the vintage sculpts, which are less realistic and more consistent with the look and feel of this thing, I actually chose to get some modern Megos to crew this spaceship. I didn't want to go crazy and like buy the entire crew, so I've got Kirk, Spock, and Uhura. Interestingly enough, you know, it's better that these are modern Megos and not vintage ones, because I'm planning to take them out of their packaging so I can pose them in the bridge. And interestingly enough, this Uhura was represented to me as being mint, unopened, brand new, but when it arrived, the bubble was not attached to the card. I did message the seller about that, and he was very nice. He wasn't sure what had happened. This was from his personal collection, so I ain't tripping on that. I'm just glad to have Uhura. She's a pretty expensive item as modern Megos go. I'm wondering if she's out of production or something. These seats are almost too short for Uhura to be sitting on, but I'm trying to sort of capture the quality of Uhura at her station doing Uhura stuff. Makes no sense for her to be wearing her tricorder while she's on the bridge, and I could certainly remove it, but I don't know how complicated I want to get with this right now. People who view toys as investments hate to see things like this, but I'm about to frickin' tear this package open and take Spock out. Gonna totally damage the collector value of this item in a second. Oh, look at that, look at that, it's happening. It's happening. No hermetically sealed chamber here with no sign that says no children allowed. Please don't play with the toys. It is happening. I just Googled Enterprise Bridge seating positions from the original series to remind myself where each character sat on the bridge. And I feel this is not completely accurate, but I also feel like I have a lot of memories of Uhura and Spock both being stage left, with their backs turned to the rest of the crew, working on control panels and, you know, diagnostic devices and things of that nature, whereas Kirk himself, of course, would be in the captain's chair staring at the bridge. Meanwhile, I mean, not the bridge, the view screen, the windshield. Meanwhile, this piece here, I feel like this is actually for the helmsman who's steering the ship. So maybe I actually need a helmsman action figure, and more chairs so the helmsman can sit there. I don't know. As I said, most of the times people photograph this playset, the captain's chair is facing the camera. So, yeah, fun stuff though. But now I want to show you possibly the most compelling thing about this playset. It certainly was fascinating to me as a child. The transporter room. Wait till you see this gimmick. This is like one of the all-time legendary, wonderful toy gimmicks. The fellow who sold this to me tested it to make sure it's working, because I told him I gotta have a working transporter room. That's the whole point of this playset. You'll notice on the floor by Spock's feet, it's green. And he's getting to be, he's in the transporter room, he's going to be transported somewhere. Up top, you'll notice there's a green button and a red button and a twirly thingy. Let's see if this, I haven't tested this yet. I hope it works. Okay, so my memory of it was that it might be spring-loaded or something, but I guess it's not. It's just whatever torque my finger provides is what's going to create this transporter room effect. Ah, damn it. So yeah, basically, the idea is that this should spin rapidly enough that these... Oh, crap. Transporter room accident! Oh no, it's gonna be like that moment in the motion picture, isn't it? Where somebody was horribly mutilated by the transporter room. Okay, let's try this again. The whole deal is that this should be spinning rapidly enough that the stickers on there create the shimmering special effect of the transporter room. And then you hit the red button, because remember, it was green on the floor by Spock's feet, so we hit the red button and Spock should disappear. Boom! He's gone! My goodness, where did he go? And so we have the door back here. You'll notice that's the same thing that clasps the playset closed, but the door is back here so we can bring Spock out and have him, you know, engage in Spock stuff on whatever planet he just beamed down to. And naturally, once again, we can beam him up. He can be like, "Beam me up, Scotty," or whatever it is, that famous line that was never actually spoken in the show. Hit the green button, and he's gone. And he's back. He's back on the Enterprise. So there you go. Thank you for bearing with me while I take this little trip down memory lane. I am very happy to own this thing. It's wonderful. And next stop is IKEA. I've heard IKEA sells display cases. I need to get a display case so I can have this thing on display in my home. Hopefully a lighted display case.